Hello, my soul friends. It's Victoria on the Soul Nurturer channel. And I'm here to talk about the new moon full solar eclipse, total solar eclipse, depending on where you are, on April 8th. I think it's at 11:20 or 11:21 a.m. Pacific time. So here's the thing. I usually rush through these videos. I hear a lot of people saying, oh, make them shorter. But then I rush. And when I rush, I'm not getting everything that my soul wants to share with you. So I'm going to just kind of slow down with this one. I'm on Zoom to do that. So I've got spaciousness. And here's what I would suggest. Pace yourself. Watch 5 minutes at a time. Okay. Watch 1 minute at a time. Skip forward and just trust, your intuition. Go forward in the video and listen to that part. Right. So, and then I'm going to do my short, a few minutes with the moon and your soul, which I draw from my longer videos and just sort of do top of the trees for you. Okay. But anyway, welcome. If this is your first time joining me, this is my contribution to support all of us truly in this experience of souls having a human experience, navigating the unfolding and all that we're witnessing through the lens of transformation and healing. And I call myself the soul nurturer because that is my soul mission, to help reclaim soul potential. And each and every person I work with, I feel like that is what we're here to do. It's like reclaim what we came here to do, right? But we have to address the conditioning. We need to heal our wounds, which is very big with this solar eclipse. So I'm going to dive in a little bit more. I'm going to look at my notes. Please, I love when people comment and engage with me. If you're kind of shy, I understand. Some of my people will email me. So I'll give you my email straight at the top, and that is thesoulnurturer@gmail.com. And I'm bringing back the 20-minute consult for those of you who I want to encourage you, if you feel drawn to me, to go to my website, victoriajaswick.com, and that will be in the description as well. Because I'm happy to do the 20 minutes. It's my pay it forward contribution. And for people who are just learning astrology, which is a tool that I use, it's a symbolic tool. We're symbolically witnessing the cosmos around us, just as we witness ourselves in nature and the changing of the seasons. We watch the changing of particularly on this channel, I follow the lunation cycle, new moons, full moons, as points of reference to check in with ourselves. How are we doing? What are we noticing about our life and our unfolding? And how are we feeling? What's activated? And this is why I offer these as a checkpoint for you, and to bring opportunities for you, for the collective, to heal, transform, and evolve. So thank you for being with me, and let me know where you're viewing from as well. I'd love to know that. So let me just jump in a little bit to my feeling of this, and then we'll get into some of the details, okay? So first of all, this is being called the Great North American Eclipse. This total solar eclipse is going to be taking place a lot of places in the US. I didn't map out those. I know it's starting in Mexico through Texas all the way through the East Coast. I don't have the specifics. Selfishly, it's only a partial eclipse where I am, but I'm curious, are you in the path of totality, as it's called? And if you are you planning on viewing? And most importantly, do you have your safety glasses? So important. My husband and I got to view the last solar eclipse. A friend of ours, Charlie, is a welder, so we had his welding hats, and that was really fun. But this is, if you can participate and witness it, it's spectacular. Even the partial eclipse, and that's where I am. It's a partial eclipse in Washington State. So, but it is, a solar eclipse it amplifies. A lot of people say eclipses are new moons, full moons on steroids. I like the feeling of amplification. It's a powerful time. For me, I guess what I'm feeling about this, a few things have come. Ready, reset, go. And I'll tell you more about that in a moment. And it's definitely connected to our healing, our greater healing, because Chiron is exactly conjunct exactly. At 19 degrees, by the way, that's where you're going to be looking in your natal chart to see where this is going to be bringing this opportunity for a huge reset, a huge opportunity for a fresh new beginning. Eclipses in general are harbingers of change. They can bring sudden endings and sudden new beginnings. And I just posted a on my Instagram. I'm doing this new thing on my Instagram talking about new beginnings. The quote, I'll look at it before we end, but it was really basically just saying new beginnings happen when there are endings, right? And so I'm wondering how you're feeling, what you've been noticing, what have you been going through? And again, in general, a lunation cycle, a new moon, full moon, it's usually like 3 days before, the day of, and 3 days after that we can feel it, we can work with it. But with the eclipse season, you kind of are, everything's being awakened, let's say, awakened, brought to attention, especially, this eclipse, this solar eclipse, it's like a lot of things that have been hidden are going to be revealed, to be healed. And so you may already be feeling this. I know that I know a lot of people who are having a lot of personal issues, clients, friends, where things are shifting. The boat is rocking. It's like time for those great shifts. And in some ways, it feels like waking up and being real, recognizing I haven't looked at this, I haven't dealt with this. And because Chiron's there, it's, this is the phrase that came to me this morning. Chiron is the wounded healer. It is, I'm not going to go into the mythology. I have a few videos on Chiron. I love Chiron. I love the wounded healer archetype. I identify as one. I think it's an empowered archetype when you know how to work with it, when you honor your wounds and see the beautiful gifts that come from the wounds. And then you're called to, like me, be of service and support to others on their healing journeys. So I'm wondering if anybody relates to being a wounded healer out there. And so, by the way, this is the first new moon in the astrological new year. Super potent, The astrological new year begins when the sun moves into Aries, which it did on the 19th. So we got a little burst, a little like, oh, I'm wondering if you felt this way, kind of like, hey, I have a little bit more energy, a little bit more motivation. I feel a little bit ready, right? And so this solar eclipse for me is like making sure we're ready. And if we're not ready, is possibly going to reveal where we need to get ready, what we need to heal in order to move forward, where we're out of alignment. It's a powerful course correct. In fact, this is why I'm calling it ready, reset, go, because it's very much like, when your computer's glitching, which by the way, we're in Mercury retrograde too. And I think I might pull up a chart to show you some of the things going on. I have a professional chart program, but I don't like to navigate through it. I default to astro.com, which I recommend, to go pull your chart up, take a look there. It's very easy to navigate, very user friendly. If I can use it, you can use it. And I'm going to pull up to I did a chart through there that I'll pull up. It's not as fancy as some of the other professional software programs, but it works. Okay, so very much the message of this is if you're not ready, you're going to be made ready, and to be really accountable for, where you've been wounded is where you're most gifted, and this is the time to rise with the gifts, to reframe the issues into your power, your medicine, right? So I wanted to say something else about that. Again, I feel myself starting to race because there's so much here. Let me just cover some of what is happening astrologically on this day. And so of course a solar eclipse is a new moon, right? When the moon is conjuncting the sun. In this particular case, it's at 19 degrees of Aries. So again, where is that in your chart? It's in my third house. Wherever it is in your chart, That's what's highlighted. That's where you're called to a really powerful new beginning. Okay. Anybody want a new beginning out there? I know, like for me, I'm ever hopeful and optimistic, and here we go. And well, not yet. Here we go. Not yet. Anybody been feeling like this? This is the here we really go. We're really gonna see some shifting. Okay. So course, the solar eclipse unfolds over time. If you're in the path of totality, it'll be like 4 minutes. Like, I don't know if it's a sustainable, about 4 minutes in the darkness, and what a cool feeling, right? And just feeling into that. And I'm curious if you've ever been present to a solar eclipse. What did that feel like? And just notice that, because symbolically it tells us a lot what energetically we may be experiencing and how to work with this. Remember, I always say work with the celestial weather or the astrology instead of being worked by it or caught off by it. Like, okay, what is this new moon solar eclipse inviting us to, asking us to do, to evolve, to emerge more potential, to collaborate in a co-creative way for healing on the planet, right? What does that feel like? So think about it. I mean, I remember it was, the things that I noticed most, of course, suddenly it goes from bright daylight to dim, like the lights are out, right? The lights have been dimmed. And all of the animals got very quiet, like not one bird, right? Very eerie, right? So our regular day is interrupted, right? It's suddenly what just happened. Can you imagine um, our ancient ancestors being aware, being present to a solar eclipse or a lunar eclipse, and like, what is going on? But a solar eclipse in particular, because it can be jarring. Like, where is the light going? We're so dependent on the sun. Where is it going? Even though it's a brief time, it could feel very eerie, right? And then after, the light returned from the sun, the moon was no longer blocking the sun's light. A rooster crowed. Like, okay, so what does a rooster crowing symbolize? A, a restart, a new day, right? So this is what I feel about this. And so the big player in the story is Chiron. Chiron conjuncting the sun and the moon, right? Wow. So this is, we're coming out of Pisces. We came out of Pisces season into Aries season. And Pisces season was all about visioning, being with for me, this is what Pisces is like, being in the mystery, being in the potential of the mystery. What do we want to bring from the invisible to the visible? What are we desiring? What are we dreaming about? Literally our night dreams and our visions, right? And then this is Aries season now, especially right now. Yeah, I'm seeing like, at the race, the start line, and everybody's in position, ready for the sound, whatever the sound is. I'm not much of I don't follow track, but that's the image I had lined up. Is it a gunshot? Is it a something? Or it's something that they ready, set, and they take off running. That's the feel of this. Get your tennis shoes on, get your running shoes on. We're like, whatever you've been visioning for, wanting, working towards, doing your inner work, your soul work. And this is really important with this Chiron and very active here. I hope that, because I talk about this a lot. We need to do our soul work, address our wounds, of course, not once and for all, but continuously, to prepare to receive our blessings. We're all like praying for these magical healings in our lives. Oh, if only this, if only that, if only they, and we're not doing anything differently. Go look at my Instagram, because I'm doing a big reset on my Instagram. And it is I am the soul nurturer on Instagram. And every post leading up to this solar eclipse is all about change. Like, if you want something different, do something different. And that's what this, energy is. This is the vibe. It's pretty powerful if we are willing to lean into it, and again, whatever I'm sharing today, you're the authority of you. you are co-creating your life with the creator. I'm just offering some perspective. And if it fits for you, awesome. I hope it does. And let me know what I say and where it resonates with you. Okay. So this astrological new moon in the new year, it really feels like another, maybe it's the huge last push in the rebirthing for whatever you've been gestating, whatever you've been holding or struggling with, and just now pushing, laboring through, right? So, and Mercury is in this too. Sun, Moon, Mercury and Chiron conjunct in Aries. Again, where is this happening in your chart? And this is not about like, oh gosh, all my wounds are gonna get stirred. Again, I'm inviting you. I think this is what this Aries new moon is inviting you to look at your life and your being and your experiences in a new way, in a more powerful way. Now let's talk about the Aries archetypal expression. Okay. Aries is the, initiating energy. It's the let's take action. Let's be bold. Let's be leaders. Let's move through obstacles. Let's take the lead on our lives. And creating those new possibilities. Just to focus here for one more moment. It is so, oh, and especially, gosh, there's so much to say. This is why I wanted to do a Zoom. So we're in Aries season, meaning the sun is in Aries. The moon is going to be in Aries. I'll pull up the chart in a minute. And we have the North Node in Aries. The North Node is this collective transit that shifts every 2.5 years. So the North Node, our collective energy towards our collective destiny and our individual purpose and destiny. So that is what Aries is all about, individuality. What am I doing with the I am potential that I have? And I got to come back to a little idea I have for how to work with this new moon that I came up with, and I'll share that with you a little bit later. I like to share some tools. Definitely it is a time to be, it's shadow work, but also just asking yourself this question: where have I been hiding? And that is not only a secret or something that you have shame about, which is very much shadow, but also where have I been hiding my light? Where have I been hiding my gifts? Where have I been hiding my soul desires and what my soul wants for me? So this Aries energy, the archetype of Aries is, passion and purpose and being the adventurer, like taking action. And trailblazing is very much pioneering, finding the new ways, not taking no for an answer. Do you know any Aries people? And I was going to pull up some celebrity Aries, but Aries, they very much like to be first. They like to win. They like to compete, and they don't like to compete. They like to win. And so, okay, we're going to be borrowing this energy, all of us. Like, okay, we're in whatever house this is in your natal chart, or just in general, the energy right now. Where will it be more helpful for you to be the leader of your own life, to not take no, or I like to say no means next opportunity. Not take no as a rejection, but as a redirection. Oh, I like that. I love when like new ways of saying it comes out. So not taking no as a rejection, but as a redirection, right? Like, oh, this person doesn't want what I have to offer. All right. Sorry, you're going to miss out. I'm going to go over here, right? And this path isn't open. Okay, either I can trailblaze it, or I can find a path that is easier to trailblaze open. This ultimately is, finding a way to fulfill your purpose, right? What you were birthed in to birth in. Because this is a rebirthing, but also I've been working with a lot of clients and really doing a lot of work with myself. Like, I know I have so much more to birth in that I've been holding back and hiding. So where are you holding back what you want to be delivering on the planet for, your contribution? So, okay, so much more to Aries, but really I love Aries energy is bold, it's action oriented. Now, I do want to say with Chiron, and also, we have Saturn and Mars in Pisces, which I think is a really good compassionate anchor, because Aries can just like go storming forward and not think about the highest good, right? Some shadow aspects of Aries can be anger, irritability, possibly, I don't like this word, but selfish in a way, because I think selfish, I want to reclaim that for all of us as self-care. But that type of energy where I don't care about anybody else but myself, which doesn't work. This is again shadow or the wounded side of Aries. Very what's the word? Hasty, like not just trailblazing ahead without consideration. And yeah, so with Saturn and Mars in conjunction in Pisces, Mars is how our energy and how we move forward. It's tempered a little bit. And I was thinking, this word came to me this morning, see if I can remember it. Instead of compassion, it's compaction, like compassion and action, or you can say compassionate action. Okay. But I was trying to put them together because that's what my brain does. It looks to play with words and put them together. So Saturn, like the anchor here, grounding us in some compassion. And also, is the action connected to your higher vision? Are you just being like, I don't know, I'm going to go do this? This is why it's important. I always teach my clients, have a personal mission statement. Wherever you work, or if you have your own business, we tend to have mission statements. This is what the company is all about. And it gives us this clear awareness of where we're focused. Personal mission statements do the same thing. And I always recommend to people going through transition to do that, because we can be too overwhelmed with all the things we need to do. No, this is the mission right now. And for some of us, and a lot of us, especially with this solar eclipse so connected to Chiron, sometimes the soul mission is just healing your mind, healing your past trauma, healing the wounds that prevent you from stepping forward boldly in your life. So that could just be your personal mission statement. Okay, I think I have some videos on this somewhere too, in my channel. I need to update some of my videos because I've kept a lot of the very old videos up that I was just practicing, and I'm getting a little bit more comfortable talking to a camera. But I left all my old ones up because I think it's important to see evolution and to make peace with, we need to practice to be prepared for our blessings. So I've been practicing fumbling, falling down, getting back up. And I feel good about that. I feel about the practice I've done. I feel good about how I can sit down and I have a few notes. Mostly I'm just talking from my heart, right? Okay, back to our information here. Oh, I know this was really important. I get my greatest insights when I'm sitting with an idea. Okay, what do I need to know about this solar eclipse? So I already mentioned that this amplified new moon solar eclipse is showing us what needs to be healed, also reclaimed, and also renegotiated in relationships. Like, remember, I teach this a lot. Remember, for those of you who watch with me all the time, I call it getting current with people, and you need to renegotiate those places. So it would sound like this. In the past, I know that I taught you that it was okay to not include me in your plans. I was teaching you from my wound that I don't matter, but I don't live there anymore. I live and that I do matter. And if you're going to be in a relationship with me, then I'm inviting you, requesting that you include me in things that matter to me, because I matter. So you're kind of renegotiating relationships, how you've been doing your relationship dance. If you're still stuck in a wounded dance, it's a time to heal, to call it out. Where are you wounded? You and your partner separately look at your individual wounds. I know it's so tempting and much easier, isn't it, to say, hey, let me point out a few things about you. And really, you remember that old saying now, like when you're pointing the finger at someone else, you've got three fingers going back at you. And this is powerful shadow work. Okay, the thing that I'm blaming someone about, the thing that I'm pointing out to them, where is that three times more important to me? And where is that behavior that may be in my blind spot, in my shadow? Okay, so, but this came to me on my bike ride. There's in hypnotherapy and NLP, this is so perfect, this technique and just this idea for what this feeling, the potential of this new moon in Aries lunar or solar eclipse is all about. And that is a pattern interrupt. Does anyone know this term? Pattern interrupt can be very simple. Like one of the ways I learned it years ago from NLP was to redirect the focus, right? And the classic way to do that, say someone's really stuck in their rut. And by the way, this is the time to get out of our ruts, okay? Kick them to the curb. I bet, and anybody hear me on this or feel this? Have you felt stuck in a rut? Same thing every day, same pattern, same stories, same relationships, same like letdowns, same disappointments on repeat. My hair's bugging me. I don't know. It's like tickling my face. Why? Because the universe, God, creator, however you connect, is been trying to show you your patterns that do not work. The story you're in that's not delivering you to your possibilities, right? So pattern erupt, not quite. Pattern interrupt is like the way that I learned it. It was so silly, but it worked. So say I had a client in my office and they're just going over the same, ruminating over this thing and the always and you know, I've heard this story a few times. It's where they go when they're not feeling safe. I get it. These are those old ruts. And we can't see where we're in a rut sometimes. This is why a pattern interrupt is so important. So you go do something like this. Now I'm going to give this away for a lot of practitioners who use this. Sorry. But so they're in their story and then you go, oh, do you smell popcorn? Yeah. Do you smell popcorn? And they're like, what? And they try and they're smelling. No, I don't think so. What did I do? I took them out of their rutted place in their mind and I disrupted that, which is what this solar eclipse is about. Pattern interrupt. So now they're kind of confused. Confusion actually is a powerful place to reset and redirect. When you're confused, your subconscious mind is open to some new information. Okay. So this is an opportune time to identify what isn't working, what could work better. Interrupt the pattern just by noticing it, awareness. I'm doing that same thing. I'm really stuck in this story. I'm really stuck in, the image that I kept having for the lunar eclipse was sitting by a door that's been shut for a long time and it's not opening, folks. That door that got shut, that God shut for you, you're not supposed to be waiting on it to open. You're supposed to be looking for your open door. And that's what this solar eclipse is offering, I believe, big time. It's a big time pattern interrupt and a course redirection to align you more with your possibilities, your soul potential, your authentic self. Okay. So, okay. So that pattern interrupt is, a way to interrupt your mental, emotional, and behavioral state. Those same old habits you're doing to get out of those habits and get into supportive new patterns that lift you up to your higher possibilities. They shake up that old place. I kept feeling into, maybe I'll open the chart now. When I was feeling into this solar eclipse, I do that a lot. I was thinking, why is this feeling so, it feels so very, like Uranus, like this quick breakthroughs and shakeups to awaken our potential. Well, we do have, let's see, where is Uranus? Uranus, okay, well, is it 21 degrees Taurus? And, oh, okay, all right, I forgot about this. Jupiter and Uranus are in conjunction. Jupiter expands everything. And conjuncting Uranus, which is the disruptor, like to break us out of old ways of being so that we can evolve into higher potential. So they're getting closer and they're going to be in exact conjunction on the 20th of April. That's huge, by the way. Okay. So I'm going to pop up this chart just because, some people like a little visual and see if I know that it's not like the best way to look at the chart. Some people have like, I was working with a teacher the other day. I had my chart read and it was so powerful. And I'm like, what? I'm now have like astrology chart or astrology software envy. Like, well, what are you using? And I think it was Solar Fire and it was clear and easy to read. That's going to be my next investment. It's like $500. So, and can't do it right now, but that's what I'm going to be doing so I can provide better service to you, my viewers, and to my clients. Okay, but let's take a peek at this one. just so I can speak to it a little bit more with a visual. So we know the sun, see over here, if my cursor to the left, sun, moon, Mercury, and Venus all in Aries. Venus just went into Aries, which means, so moved out of Pisces where we were, maybe a little fuzzy around our relationships, because we also had a Neptune conjunction to Venus. So what's real, what's not in terms of relationships. And now Venus going into Aries is like, let me clear some things up for you. Number one, you matter. You deserve to have what you want in a relationship. You're worthy of it. And if it's not where you are, keep looking, right? And or get clear in telling your partner or the people that you are in a relationship with, it's not just intimate relationships. Hello, I guess I have to reintroduce myself because I'm somebody that is worthy of what I desire, and this is not cutting it. You're gonna find more power to stand up for yourself, whether it's speaking up for what you're worth in terms of work, your salary, your money, what you're worth in relationship. And Aries is like not going to mess around. Like it's like being the warrior. Aries energy is the warrior. So being the warrior for your own life and your potential in every area of your life. So look at the chart now. So I found a little trick on astro.com, which I'm not going to share because I don't want them to take it away, because you can't pull up a chart like this for babies or young charts. And so I found a way. I'm not going to tell you because I don't want them to take it away. But typically you can't look at a chart like this in astro.com, but I found out. Okay, so let's look here up at the very top where Aries, this is the symbol, the ram, the Aries. There's the sun, the circle with the dot in the middle, and then the moon right there. That's that new moon, right? And then there's the north node. So this is a north node eclipse, right? So there's Chiron, and then there's Mercury. And we still have Venus and Neptune still in a conjunction, but Venus is going to be moving away more and more, getting more clear, getting less fuzzy. What do I deserve? What does a healthy relationship look like? Now, you may notice this in relationships and in wherever you're experiencing irritation at work, in relationships, and social situations with the world as it's unfolding. That's Aries energy. Frustration, irritation is like something needs to change. And Aries, a cardinal sign, wants to make that change happen. And this is the other thing that kept coming to me. We know we can do better. We must do better now, individually and collectively. Okay. So, and here's that Jupiter Uranus conjunction. And again, on the 20th, it's going to be exactly conjunct. So it's got Jupiter here at 19 degrees of Taurus right now, and Uranus is at 21 degrees. So that's going to be an exact conjunction coming up. So wherever that is, so this is in my 11th house, which means I have the potential. No, this isn't my chart. What am I saying? In this chart, if this was somebody's chart and this conjunction is happening, this would have the potential of big breakthroughs in the area of community and and being of support into community and wishes and fulfillment of wishes. So I mean, because I'm looking at a chart based out of Los Angeles, this is also the potential for us, because this is where it's showing up in this chart in the Pacific, on Pacific time in the West Coast. Anyway, of course, wherever you are, the time change and everything will be a different flavor of this theme here. Okay. All right. So I just wanted to show you how they're all clustered together there. And this is like the story that's unfolding that I just told you, right? Back to sun and the moon, new beginnings, always. That's what a new moon is. It's that sort of going into the darkness before the light comes back to set the possibilities of new beginnings, new changes. But with the solar eclipse there, this is like amplified. And because Chiron is there, it is like the push. Okay, it's like being pushed through the birth canal of your wounds to birth in your gifts. I love that. Okay, that works for me. That was just a little bit of, I want to get better at putting charts up for you all, but for me, I don't know, does that help to see some of the imagery of what we're talking about? But I love what just came, that this Chiron, like we're birthing through our wounds, like birthing through the wounds to transmute them into our gifts. And so I invite you, here's a few things as I wrap up, to invite you to now consider, I mean, how much time have we spent in our wounds? Enough, right? I call it doing research. We know where we're wounded. We know what triggers us. Okay, our wounds will always be part of our journey, but they don't need to drive our journey, okay? So now, a couple things I would recommend for this new moon, for this solar eclipse. Do a little inventory of your wounds, your wound journey. And then maybe do columns, like I feel wounded in this area. And then what is the gift there? What is the gift? You know, one of my wounds was feeling not seen, not heard, not valued. And that's what I offer to people. I mean, I'm a really good listener. I love to see someone's soul essence, what I think I'm really gifted at in my sessions with my clients. Like they're missing seeing their essence, and I can point it out. So identify where you're gifted from your wounds. Harvesting, I call it harvesting the wounds from the gift. Next, of course, shadow work. And that is, where are you shaming or blaming others? Where are you triggered by others? Where are you admiring someone? All of that is, you know, pulling back your projection and saying, where is that for me? What am I telling myself? Where is this connected? And then, you know, how do I heal? Reclaiming and integrating what you are judging in other people, reclaiming and integrating where you admire somebody else. That brings you back into your wholeness. And the last thing I wanted to show you, since Aries is all about I am, right? It's the I am. The axis of Aries is Aries and Libra. And Libra is all about us and relationships and, you know, partnerships. Aries is definitely about Aries, okay? And I know I've a couple friends are married to Aries. So and I grew up with a lot of Aries energy. Anyway, the message with Aries is I am. And this is where you want to reclaim your I am, who you came in to be. So I created what I call an I am board. And I was having a spiritual direction meeting with someone, and I was really in my wound of who do I think I am? Who do I think I am? That kept coming up, like fear of people saying, who do you think you are? And I've had people say that to me in my life. And that's, you know, so when I'm starting to rise and shine, I'm like, wait a minute, they're going to think, who does she think she is? Well, what I said is I'm going to come back with, I'll tell you who I am. So I call it an I am board. I don't know if you're going to be able to read it, but I just put all the things on there, like I am unfolding. I am a soul guide. I am powerful. I am a writer. I am love. I am beautiful. I am successful. I'm a creative. I'm creative. I'm a teacher. I'm a healer. I'm an astrologer. That one took me a while to claim that, right? The who do you think you are? Does she have enough training? What are her qualifications? And then like, wait a minute, I've been studying this or been learning about this since I was 15. I know enough. I know maybe not everything. I know enough. Okay, so I claim that. I am an authentic, beautiful, unique soul. I'm going to say that again because I don't want to stumble over that one. I am an authentic, beautiful, and unique soul. And you know what? So are you. And I love this one too. I am a radiant light. And so are you. So I encourage you to just get a little, this is just a little canvas, and create your own I am board. Instead of doing intentions, which you can do as well, which we typically do around a new moon, but with this powerful solar eclipse, I invite you to reclaim your I am and let that shine forward and let that light the way forward to the path that is yours to walk on, which may be very, very different than what you've been doing and who you've been traveling with. If it's an authentic soul call, sometimes we have to shed a lot, not sometimes, often. Need to let go and shed. And even though we don't think about that with new moons, typically in this case, if what you're carrying, what you're doing is not aligned with where you're going, it's time to shed. And still in spring here in the northern hemisphere, so still do that spring cleaning. Okay, All right. I don't know how long this was, but I hope it was helpful. And please do let me know your takeaways. I hope you paused. I hope you took time to take it in, to be with this. And I really want to know if you're going to make your I am bored and what are some of your messages. In fact, maybe you want to just put that in the comments. Claim it right now. I am I am what? What is your I am that's wanting to birth through your soul? All right. Thanks so much for being with me. I'm always honored when anybody comes by to visit. And I hope that you continue to stay connected to this channel. Subscribe if you haven't. And go take a look at my Instagram. Something new is arriving on the 8th. Okay. All right. Peace and blessings. Take good care until next time.